I just
Sorry, that was just my completely normal, non-altered voice. Folks, grab yourself a cup of coffee because we have another beautiful day. Today's Tuesday, July the 30th. We are close to wrapping up the month. We have one more day, i.e. tomorrow. Yes, there are 31 days in July. But before we talk about that, we should be living in the present, which is today, which is now, which is a beautiful Tuesday, July the 30th. Now, shout out, VAC29. I got the notification, Matt. Shout out. Is it working for everyone? Because yesterday we saw that the trick to get the notifications was to rename your account Josh. It seemed like all the Joshes in the world properly got the notification on YouTube. By the way, this is only specific to YouTube. Rumble, everyone is always getting the notifications over there. But specific to YouTube, we thought the trick yesterday. Joshes all got it. Team Josh got the notification. And now it seems like Team Josh is, I guess, substituting in Team Vac because Vac got it. So that seems like it's working out. Hey, maybe today's going to turn up the MK show. Maybe today will turn up the Goonie community. Excuse me. Folks, I need today to turn up the Goonie community because I had an absolutely wild trading session yesterday. The people in the Discord can attest to it. I did one of the most degenerate things of my entire trading career. And you guys see me on a common basis doing very stupid, non-advisable things with my own money. And I sometimes turn up on the right side, Sometimes I turn up on the wrong side, and yesterday was a roller coaster of emotions. So I want to share that with all of you. There are a couple other things we're going to get into. And if you guys don't mind, I want to try maybe a little bit of a different structure of a show today. What I want to do is very quickly kind of run through the international news, the geopolitical stuff. Then I want to spend a lot more time on finance and the market and the economy. I don't know what is in my throat. Excuse me. This is so embarrassing. This has never happened to me before. I've never coughed before, and this is a very new experience. My apologies. Let's hope that stops. Anywho, I want to spend more time prepping on what I'm seeing in the market and really for the day of trading. And then during that opening market session where I kind of am just paying attention to how things play out over the first 5, 10, 15 minutes, I feel like that's actually going to be the perfect time to chit chat of the recent U.S. political developments and polls and potential influences on the economy, the stock market, and individual stocks. So a slight switch of kind of how the show is scheduled. You guys might be thinking to yourself, Matt has a schedule for the show. No, sometimes in my mind I do, but the chance of that ever being executed is very, very slim. But sometimes there's a little bit of a method to my madness. So I'm hoping that today's particular method ends up playing out well. I don't know. We're going to see how it goes. And if you hate it, I would say that, remember, when you're giving me criticism, gentle parenting, but I'm the form of gentle parenting where you just don't even tell me I was wrong anyway, and you just forget about it. So keep that in mind. If you have criticism, constructive criticism, or anything of that nature, when in doubt, just keep it to yourself, because I'll probably forget about it anyway. It's not anything negative against you. It's not anything negative against me. It's just sometimes my mind goes in a million different directions and I forget what in the world I was told to do. So we'll just save each other all time. But I don't know. I don't know. That's the Matt Kohrs Show, and we're going to see how it rips today. Just so you guys do know, shout out to these people. Ooh, I pointed the right way. Generally, I mess it up because everything's inverse to me. So the fact that I pointed to the right, I mean, this might be the first time in my streaming history I pointed to the right side to make it look like I'm pointing at that thing that you guys see, but it's not like I actually have a giant upside sign right by me. I know it's crazy. This is some Harry Potter wizard stuff. But yeah, right here, upside. They're a recent partner of the channel. They've been with us now for a couple weeks. I mean, you guys have seen it, that we've been upping the Payday Friday giveaways. That's because of people like this. Upside is a free app where you get real cash back from their offers on dining, groceries, restaurants. I'll give you the whole spiel in a little bit. But when you sign up right there, when you scan that, it is completely free. And on your very first offer that you accept for gas, you're going to get an additional 25 cents off per gallon. So it is free. There's no catch. There's no gimme. Check it out. Scan it right there. It's also pinned to the top of chat. It's in the description of the video, but I'll give you the whole spiel in a little bit. So with all that being said, let's take a looky-see here. The market, we see lower highs, lower lows, and I'm of the opinion, according to today's thumbnail, according to today's title, I think things are about to pop. And I'm going to get into the nerdy mathematical reasoning for what I'm seeing in the options market. Basically, it relates to the tilt, the gamma tilt, the delta tilt. You could even say a little bit of the open interest, but basically, I'm looking at some nerdy mathematical things related to the call to put ratio that leads me to believe that the bear camp is running out of steam in this recent sell-off, and basically the dealers are exhausted and it's about to get pumping here. That's my thesis. I might be wrong. I might be right. Flip a coin. We're going to figure it out. We could always turn it over to the tarot cards. But yes, I am looking for this push. And I even talked about this yesterday. The first push and close above 548, 549, I think sets up a beautiful pump pretty easily to 553. That's what I'm looking for on the SPY, the ETF tracking the S&P 500. But other major news of the day is oil. And for those of you who know a couple things about oil here, there, and everywhere, you know that Venezuela is actually a pretty important country related to oil production and drilling and all that. And you can see that oil is coming down. It's already been coming down for a little bit, but things are getting a little bit more extreme, currently trading at 75 a barrel. So let's talk about what happened in Venezuela. Venezuela erupts in protest as Maduro reclaims office. So Maduro is a socialist, communist leading leader of Venezuela who was reelected. And I'm saying that in quotes because there's a lot of questions of did he actually get reelected? It's a little bit suspect. And for those of you who don't know, Venezuela, a country that for years and years and years has been going down, the quality of life, the quality of the economy, things have not been trending in the right way because unfortunately it is dealing with the disease that is communism. And people, many of the people, and truly my heart goes out to the people of Venezuela, because right now the preliminary information is this is not what they wanted, and we're seeing the old Kansas City shuffle. Venezuela's opposition says it has proof of election fraud. They say that they can prove Gonzalez rightfully as the rightful winner of the election. Protests across the capital were winding down in the evening. But I mean, this is one of the coolest things right now about the state of X, aka Twitter, is the real-time information. And there's so many people sharing their opinions and thoughts. And it got to the level where people, I wasn't there, but there's a lot of people saying that the once again reelected Maduro is illegitimate, and he's not calling him saying that they're against Elon Musk. He's taking it to the next level, like out of some villain arc story here. He's now his arch enemy. That's right. You have the newly reelected leader of Venezuela calling Elon Musk his arch enemy. And then we got this response right here, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. I wonder what it actually means. And I decided for all of us to do the translation. The donkey knows more than mature. So I think maybe they were a little bit off on that one, but you can tell that it wasn't anything positive. Folks, I only took 2 years of high school Spanish, so I wasn't able to do it. I think the donkey knows more than Maduro, so the ass knows more. I think he's calling him an ass. That is my broken Spanglish translation of the situation. Pretty interesting that we have a world leader getting dunked on by a tech billionaire. I thought it was pretty funny, but yeah, that is the state of Venezuela. And yes, obviously that part with Elon, a little bit more comedic, but some of the numbers are a little bit wild. So one of the first major things people are pointing out is, according to local TV, the math ain't mathin'. If you look at the percentage of people adding up, it's at 109%. And when you look at elections, anything over 100%, the math ain't mathin'. Now, you could say, was this just improperly put in there? Okay, yeah, like that. It could have just been a typo on the screen, or maybe those are the real numbers. And once again, the math ain't mathin'. Now, I am no election expert when it comes to what did or didn't happen in Georgia, the state, not the country. But a lot of people are starting to look at the time of the day, and they're noticing who was winning, who wasn't winning. And then obviously a huge jump at, I don't know, basically the middle of the night. And people on the right side are saying, okay, this is because of mail-in ballots. And they're noticing a lot of similarities with the Venezuela election graph. Once again, at an arbitrary time, just a huge jump for someone else to be beating the other person, and then another little jump there. They're starting to notice similarities. A lot of people, not just here in the U.S., but it is becoming a global phenomena of questioning the accuracy and the legitimacy of elections. And that's why I decided to wear my crypto bro shirt today. You guys can't see it. I'm not supporting smoking. I am supporting crypto. But on this particular discussion, I want to talk about just the technology that is ledgers, of how is this not apparent already in elections? We already have the technology. It's not a big brain thing to ensure that your elections are accurate and fair and legitimate. And I feel like right now, not only with the popularity of the underlying technology of crypto, but just it's so possible to do this. It is so possible for all of us to be able to look at and verify the accuracy and legitimacy of any election. We have it, folks. And we're not doing some sort of rocket brain surgery. We have it. It's in front of us. We could do this. So I just always think it's interesting of the fact that there's a discontent feeling around many, many elections. Great. Let's clean it up. let's understand. Let's put the people in power who the public really wanted to be there. So just a little bit of a side tangent. That was big news as of yesterday and last night coming into this morning. Probably pay attention to oil, maybe just even paying attention to the news because this is kind of crazy. But I do, as I kind of started at the beginning of this little mini segment here, my heart really does go out to the people of Venezuela because the initial, I guess, burst of social media commentary is the fact that people did not want to keep voting for communism. People did not want to keep voting for socialism. They tried to get in a new person. And the initial information, and this is not really particular to Rumble, but this is very particular to YouTube. I'm just reporting on what's happening. I am not saying this is 100% accurate or not. Don't hit me with one of those misinformation things. I'm reporting on the news from overnight, how things are playing out, and it just seems wild. I'm not trying to deny or anything. I'm just saying, hey, it would be nice if we had access to the information where we could all trust but verify. I feel like that would be a nice thing. But like I said, my heart goes out to the people of Venezuela. They don't seem to be happy campers this morning. And will anything come of it? I don't know. We're already seeing that surrounding countries, their National Guard is starting to support the people of Venezuela. We're starting to see the president of Argentina say, dude, we're not going to believe in this government. So crazy times, probably worthwhile to pay attention very specifically to not only what's going on with these people, but Venezuela, where they fit in the world, specifically the world of energy. You might want to be paying attention to crude oil. Stock futures are slightly higher ahead of key corporate earnings. Yes, we are in the middle of earnings season. And on top of being in earnings season, we have a pretty big week of things that are going down. I'm about to show this to you, but FOMC, unemployment reports, we get consumer confidence today. In terms of this week, to conclude the month and really kick off a new one, we got some big things going down, but let me properly set the backdrop for all of you. Since January 2020, the debt has ballooned by 50% from 23 trillion with a T to 35 trillion. Folks, we're cooking at a deficit between 1.5 and 1.7 trillion. And right now, the projection is we're not going in the right way. We are projecting that things get worse, which is exactly why I want to share a unique solution to the problem from one of the world's most well-known finance people. But right now, interest in the debt is also skyrocketed with higher rates averaging around 5%. We are paying billions and billions and billions just to service our debt. So like I said, not only are we trending in the wrong direction, we're trending in the wrong direction at an exponential rate. And I want to share with you one way that we could probably easily solve this.
I can end the deficit in 5 minutes.
How?
You just pass a law that says that anytime there's a deficit of more than 3% of GDP, all sitting members of Congress are ineligible for re-election.
Boom, right there. The Oracle of Omaha strikes again. How do you take care of the deficit and ideally start whittling away at the debt, which really the deficit is a more important number? You just say, hey, if it's not fixed, you guys cannot keep your power. I bet if that was an instituted law for all of our sitting members of Congress, I don't think we'd be ever dealing with a deficit again. I truly believe that this guy, his genius strikes again. You are not allowed to get reelected if you don't take care of the deficit. Bada bing, bada boom, bing bong, done, fixed. Once again, the Oracle of Omaha showing off his intellect. Now, bringing in a little bit to why that matters, the deficit and whatnot, all the major things going down this week. So today at 10 a.m., we're going to get consumer confidence in JOLTS job openings. The job openings will give us an interesting look at the upcoming unemployment report, which is Friday, an hour before the market opens. The day before that, we have the normal initial jobless claims. And then tomorrow, we're going to get right here, FOMC, the Federal Open Market Committee. We are going to get the next Fed decision for the interest rate. Now, as of this exact moment in time, and I could show it to you if I open up a new tab right here, the chance of any change to the Fed fund rate is about 4.1%. As in, it ain't going to happen, honey. We are currently sitting at 5.25% for the Fed fund rate. And right here, 95.9% chance that we stay at 5.25%. we're not going to get a change. That's for this meeting. Now, you might be hearing a lot about, wait, hang on, everyone's telling me we are going to get Fed fund cuts. What's going on? That's for the September meeting. So not the one tomorrow, but the one in mid-September, specifically September 18th. There's a 90% chance that we get a 25 bips cut. There's a 10% chance that we get a 50 bips cut. And there's a little baby 0.3% chance that we get a 75 bips cut. So that's where we're at. But once again, these numbers and odds and what the market is betting on really all comes to fruition in mid-September, not the one tomorrow. And right now, these guys are really good at predicting the stuff that they need to predict. So I have no reason to think that's going to be wrong. I am expecting no change to the Fed fund rate tomorrow. What I'm looking for is a little bit more confirmation from Jerome Powell that, yes, we are getting one in September. And if that happens, I think the small cap sector is going to squeeze like no other. Another piece of information that I have for that is the fact that Jim Cramer doesn't think it's going to happen. Jim Cramer says the market rotation isn't all about small cap stocks, which right away in my brain makes me think that, oh yeah, the market rotation is in fact about all small cap stocks. So you might be thinking, Matt, I don't really like your reasoning for switching into small caps, this, that, the other thing, the cheaper capital, blah, blah, blah. If you need another piece of information that I'm right on this small cap and I'm on team Tom Lee without a doubt, if you need another piece, it's right here. It's the fact that Jim Cramer doesn't think it's going to happen that makes me want to YOLO my entire account on the fact that it will happen. So just want to share that with you. Any of you interested in fading Jim Cramer, I'm very, very excited about small cap. And if you don't know what small cap is or what it, like how to track it down, the small cap is the Russell 2000. So the first 3,000, the biggest 3,000 publicly traded stocks are the Russell 3000. The bottom 2,000 of the top 3,000, so the bottom 2/3 of it is the Russell 2000. On top of that, you have the appropriately named Russell 1000. So within that 1000 chunk, that's where you're going to find the S&P 500, the NASDAQ 100, the Dow, the S&P 400 mid cap. That's all in that Russell 1000 top chunk. The Russell 2000's below it in terms of just how it's all kind of structured there and whatnot. With that, we're going to be hearing a lot from that whole Russell 3000, that whole thing. We're getting a ton of earnings, as you can see on the screen right now. This is a graphic from @eWhispers on Twitter, X, whatever. Feel free to screenshot it. Feel free to go there on X, or it's also in the newsletter. But this morning we heard from SoFi, PayPal, Pfizer, BP, and P&G. We're going to be going over that. Today, after the market closes, is a big one. We're hearing from AMD, Microsoft, Starbucks, and Pinterest. All very important, all very influential. Tomorrow, we have Boeing, Norwegian, Mastercard, Meta, ARM, Qualcomm, all obviously influential. Later on this week is where things get really crazy. Moderna, Crocs, you always got to pay attention to Crocs, but Amazon, Apple, Intel, Coinbase, DraftKings, Roku, and then later, especially with energy, crude oil going nuts, we have Exxon, Chevron, so that could be really interesting. So as you can tell, we are in the middle of earnings season. A lot is going on. Pay attention, because not only do we have a huge amount of macroeconomic events and updates, but just individual companies and also the backdrop of monetary policy. There's a big rotation coming. We've hit that high water mark of the Fed fund rate. We've coasted there, and now it looks like it's going to be coming undone. So between what's happening on the macroeconomic stage in terms of announcements, updates, and new data, then individual equities, we just have earnings. We're in the middle of earnings season, and this will be continuing for like another 2 solid weeks. And then on top of that, we're seeing a shift in monetary policy. It's a crazy summer. It's a crazy summer. I hope you are crushing it, but you gotta pay attention. We are at the opposite of just like monotonous, calm, nothing going on. We are on the polar opposite of that. Now, with respect to individual equities, Pfizer beats earnings estimates, hikes full year outlook as drug maker cuts costs. Procter & Gamble earnings beat estimates, but quarterly sales disappoint. Merck beats earnings expectation, raises sales outlooks on strong demand for top drugs like Keytruda. Don't know what that does. Never heard of her. Delta hires David Boies, I believe is how you say it, to seek damages from CrowdStrike, Microsoft after outage. So this has nothing to do with earnings. In fact, Delta already reported. But when we all, 2 weekends ago, when CrowdStrike put out that basically bad code and all of the Windows related machines, which was running critical infrastructure, all went down. And when I say critical infrastructure, I mean the most critical parts of the stock market, parts of hospitals, 911 dispatch, airlines, everything went down. 2 weekends ago, there was nothing but pure chaos, and it was because of a basic bug mess up from CrowdStrike. Now, folks, my background, computer science, you guys know, well, maybe you do, maybe you don't, but let me tell you, I used to work at a bank. That's what I did out of college. I had a degree in computer science. I wanted to be a software engineer. I worked at a bank. Even at that scale, when we're talking about one individual company, not necessarily critical infrastructure, but important, we always still did stage rollouts. You roll it out to a couple people, make sure it's good. Then you go to a bigger group of people, make sure it's good. And then you go bigger. And it's just kind of a ripple effect out just to make sure you didn't have messed up code for an important thing. The fact that that didn't happen with CrowdStrike when it's running on all critical infrastructure is the most insane thing ever. So after that happened, obviously CrowdStrike took a really big hit. I thought it would benefit Palo Alto Networks, a competitor, more than it has, but who knows? Maybe we need a bit more time till that actually ends up playing out. Anyway, when it all happened, people were asking, is it time to buy CrowdStrike? Should you buy it? And at that point, feel free to go back and watch the streams. They're still all up there. They're still all live. I said no, because I don't know if they're going to get sued to Kingdom Come. And it looks like this is the first step in the fact that they might be getting sued to Kingdom Come. Delta hires David Boyce to seek damages from CrowdStrike and Microsoft after outage. Yeah, it cost many, many companies mucho dinero. The outages cost Delta an estimated $350 to $500 million. That was one company. Think about how many companies that this has impacted. Even if they all settle for 5%, it's going to add up to huge numbers for CrowdStrike. I think there's a lot more pain to come for this company. On top of it, other big news, Citron Research, you guys probably know them because they were one of the outspoken companies shorting GameStop 2 different times. Short seller Andrew Leff surrenders on securities fraud charges in LA due in court. The activist short seller Andrew Leff surrendered in LA to face federal criminal security fraud charges. Leff, 54, is scheduled to appear before magistrate whoever in U.S. District Court in L.A., where the Citron Capital hedge fund boss is expected to be released after bail conditions are set. Leff, who lives in Florida, is accused of using his public platform, which included social media posts on X and appearances on CNBC, to make illegal profits of at least $16 million by manipulating stock market activity and trading in a way that was contrary to the position he publicly purported to take. Now, I know many people who are big supporters of GameStop are going to be like, yeah, take him down. This isn't going to go anywhere if I had to guess. I mean, right there of what you're talking about. At the exact same time, he was using his public position to say, hey, I'm betting against it. I think it's overvalued. Well, at the exact time we saw Roaring Kitty with $250 million doing his stream, talking about how it's going to go up. So it's going to make ripples right now, but it seems absurdly difficult to actually get anyone in trouble, whether bullish or bearish in this current world, especially with, I don't know, did you guys follow the whole Atlas Trading Group thing with Zach Morris? I mean, in court, they were showing all the Discord messages that they are just pumping it and dumping it on their followers. They're like, oh my God, I can't believe they're so stupid. They're falling for it. And they got in no trouble. So am I saying that's right? No, but I'm saying this is a point where the current legal precedent seems to be mismatched with what is going on morally. So I could point out various cases where it seems like someone should have gotten in trouble and they didn't. I'm not saying it should go that way. Obviously, I have a different opinion between the legal precedent and morality, but to get in trouble legally, well, they go off legal precedent. So we're going to see how it plays out. My current guess is that he's not going to get in trouble at all, but obviously time will tell. Now, before the market opens, I wanted to share my trading day from yesterday, which was not a good one. I've had worse days. You might right here see, hey, Matt, you only lost $1,500. But please understand what happened here was absolutely horrible. So there I was, early in the morning, 10:40, an hour into the trading day. And I'm thinking to myself, market's looking pretty good. Let's sell some puts. Let's make a quick bag and let's get out of here. Cool. Easy peasy. That's a great trading plan. And it went against me. I sold at 220, bought back at 280. I took a small loss because the market turned against me. You might be thinking, okay, cool. You had a plan, you stuck to it, and you ended up like just no problems. Well, right away, I wanted a revenge trade. I looked at the 60 cents I was down, technically the $1,800 that I lost, and I quickly wanted it back. So I threw on a little bit of a revenge trade, not much longer. You can see that I got out at 10.50.30, and then by 10.51, I was in another position on the opposite side. And as it goes, when you attempted a revenge trade, I sold at 260 and the market went against me, forced to buy back at 370. So now I lost an additional 3,300. All right, this is where I went from revenge trading to full on tilt trading. I upped my size. So 30, which was already way too big. I upped my size even more. Now I'm trading 4x the size I should be, and I'm fully on tilt. Sold at 240. Surprise, freaking surprise. It went against me. And I was forced to buy back at 395. So right here, an additional 6.2 thousand was lost. Folks, at this point, I'm down 12K. Technically $11,880 after fees. So I'm down 12K. This was all day yesterday. So you know what I do? I do what I do best. At 2:30, I throw on a huge position. You can see right here, I upped my size one more time. And you're going to notice something interesting about the exit. It was right before the market closed. When this happened, my butt was on a train flying through Manhattan in and out of service. I had no idea where this was going. I was on a train, my entire account on tilt. I'm like, we're going to see how this goes. In service, out of service. I'm getting updates, and then all of a sudden we go in the tunnel. Nothing. I'm flying dark, Batman. Full account on tilt. And then it comes to, and I notice, wow, I just get a notification when I got out of the tube that I got to fill at 10 cents. Sold at 205, bought back at 10 cents. Boom, boomerang, slingshot back, secure just under 10,000 at the end of the day. Dude, my blood pressure still has not come down from the event. That's how absurdly degenerate yesterday got from me. So as Vin Diesel would say, the leading philosopher of our time, winning is winning. So like I won. Am I happy about it? No. Was it smart? No. Was it pretty? No. Is it absurdly lucky? 100%. 100%. But folks, winning is winning. And with that being said, the market just opened. Dingity ding ding ding. Welcome to the world's largest casino. Best of luck to all. Play responsibly, and if not, have a bunch of fun. All right, folks. As I alluded to a little bit ago, where's Tesla? Because I know Tesla had a great day yesterday. I'm curious if it's going to keep going. I'll put so the S&P 500, the overall market in the top left, the NASDAQ, the tech-focused NASDAQ in the bottom left, the small cap sector, the Russell in the bottom right, and then just we saw Tesla was high flying yesterday, so I'm curious what it's going to do. The SPY got dumped, but now bouncing. Same with the Qs. And the Russell, just a little bit of a push. Would love for this to recapture 225. So there are some key levels I'm very interested in today. I'm very interested in the SPY pushing above and getting above 548, 549. If it does that, I think the market is going to quickly push up to 553, and I'll explain my reasoning in a second. In terms of the Qs, an equivalent level would be 468 to 470. If it can get above and push above that, I think it's going to set up a nice push to 480. And with respect to the Russell, not such a good day yesterday, so I'm looking for the push and close above 224, 225 to set up a retest of 226. So coming back to the SPY as my example, why am I feeling it today? This is when I, a little bit ago, was like, hang on, I think this could push. I think this can go. And this isn't visions of grandeur. Your boy actually has some reasoning on this. So if you bring yourself over to Spot Gamma, they are more than willing to give you a ton of incredibly useful information. So when you look at the S&P 500, whether it's SPX or SPY, we're looking at SPX in this case, you come down to the gamma tilt chart. The gamma tilt chart, for those of you who don't know, is basically the call to put ratio. So we're talking about the derivatives market. We're talking about how people are degenerately in calls, how people are degenerately in puts, and the ratio between the two. Now, what I want to point out to you is the tilt chart is great for extremes. When it's extremely low, you look for a bounce. When extremely high, you look for a reversion. I know I'm covering it up a little bit now, so let me move myself over here. Okay. Woo, magic, Harry Potter. I just shot across the screen. Anyway, what I want to point out is this gray line is the S&P 500. You notice how when we spike all the way up here, not long after, the market comes down. You see when these blue lines, when the tilt reading, so the price is over here, the tilt readings on the right side of your screen. When the tilt, which is this blue lines, that commonly marks bottoms. Tilt, absurdly low, bounces. We get up, okay, market pulls back. Tilt gets absurdly low, we bounce again. We get a very high tilt reading, it pulls back a little. You guys start to see this ebb and flow of high to low, marking the extremes. When it's really high, look for the market to revert. When it's very low, look for the market to bounce. What I'm bringing to your attention now is look how low this tilt reading is getting. And why is this happening? Well, you could see it on Gamma. You could also see it on Delta. They're going to tell you the same things of when it gets low, look for the bounce. When it gets high, look for the reversion. When you're in an overall bull market, I find the bottoming signals to be a little bit more telling than the topping signals. Once again, I like to trade with the overall trend. So both Gamma and Delta are telling us the same thing is we just got to an absurdly low reading, low reading. And guess what happened the multiple times this happened before is we just bounced. I mean, I could even show you more. Like, look how low it gets. Huge bounce. When it gets low, bounce. When it gets low, bounce. So is this a guarantee? Absolutely not. But if we're looking at it in the law of large numbers of like a repeatable trading methodology, a repeatable trading system, I'm liking what's going on right now. So all of a sudden, from a technical structure, when I'm saying, okay, here's a breakout, I see higher lows, as in the bulls are getting more aggressive. They're buying at a higher and higher level. All of a sudden, I think this resistance, its days are numbered. So from a technical setup, I see, okay, higher lows, great. Then I look at other key levels, such as the 50 EMA. I know a lot of people buy when it comes back over the 50 EMA, which it just did. Then we look at the derivatives market, and I look, okay, what's going on in the world of calls and puts? So I'm piecing various things together that make me in the shorter swing time, as in the next 1, 2, 3 weeks, like that time frame, not specifically today, but the next, I would love for it to be today, but the next 1, 2, 3 weeks, there are various things that are aligning from a purely measurable data quantitative aspect that I'm like, oh, it looks like we're about to pop. Once again, is this a guarantee? Absolutely not. But 1 to 2 to 3 weeks from now, when the SPY is back up at 560, when the Qs are back up at 490, maybe 500, and when the Russell's above 230, don't say I didn't tell you. Don't tell you I didn't. Don't say it, because I'm saying it right now for free to all of you. I'm giving you my reasoning of what I see going on in like the medium swing. Like I said, the time frame not specific today. Obviously, that's going to be more of this intraday chart type of a setup. But look at that, SPY's already popping. It's a good time to talk about it. But once again, I'm looking for the SPY to get back up into the 550s. I'm looking for the Qs to get back up 480s, 490s, and I'm looking for the Russell to get above 230 once again in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Now, with that being said, there are various things we should chat about. The FOMC meeting, that could completely mess it up, but it also could help us. The unemployment report on Friday, that could completely mess it up, but it could also help us. And then obviously when you have Apple, Amazon, Intel, Roku, and Coinbase all reporting, that can mess it up, but it also could greatly help us. So this is going to be a high octane, high volatility type of call out and event. We're going to see how it goes. We're 100%. I just want to put that all out there before we really see the market open. I like to wait those first 5, 10, 15 minutes before I start doing anything too crazy. And it's on that note that I should probably get myself, how do I bring myself back? Whoa, it worked on the first try. Interesting. So very quickly, I just want to give a shout out to these guys. Once again, Upside, the official partner of today's stream. Folks, if you don't know what Upside is, it is a free app. It is a free app. You don't have to pay to sign up or anything like that. You download it. It's free. Not only free to download, but free to use. And on top of it, you are going to use their offers within the app to get just like these offers to earn real cash. They can be applied to grocery stores, dining, gas. I actually find some of the biggest deals on gas, but I'm going to show you some of the dining ones today. They pay out over $1 million a week to their users. Active users of it can get over $300 back a year. And obviously, the more you spend, the more you're going to get back. It's incredibly easy to use. They've partnered up with over 100,000 different restaurants, gas, all of those things, over 100,000. There's a ton of partners. And just to kind of prove it to you, right where I am, check out some of these ones that I found just by me in New York. So you could see, let me right there, 20% off. So you can see one is 20% off. There's 63 different restaurants literally just by me here in New York. Another one right by it, 17% off. Another one right by it, 10%. And those are just literally local restaurants to me. So once again, that's for restaurants. But for the people, like I get questions about it, like, well, how good are the deals? A 5th off, a 10th off. Like, these are legitimate deals that are going to add up, especially if you're already spending money on it anyway. You're already spending money on groceries. You're already spending money on gas. You're already going to go to restaurants. So why not get some real cash back because of it? So for me right now, one of the things that I was alluding to a little bit ago is some of the most monstrous deals are in the world of gas. And it's actually on that Upside is offering all of you guys an extra specialty deal. Top Upside earners are making as much as $300 a month. Excuse me, I misspoke. I said a year. I meant a month. To find out how much you can earn, click the link in the description, or you could scan it right there. Just make sure you're using that code Kohrs, and you're going to be able to get an additional 25 cents off per gallon of gas on your very first use. So once again, use that code Kohrs. It is pinned to the top of chat. It's in the description of the video. It is free to download. It is free to sign up. It is free to use. And you're just going to use their offers to get real cash back. And for me, using it personally, it adds up, and it adds up very, very quickly. So obviously, I think you should all check it out. There's nothing but upside for you. That should be their slogan, honestly. But anyway, pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. You guys, highly recommend you check it out. And obviously, shout out to Upside for being partnered up with the Goonie community. And on that note, I guess reading the ads were worth it, because the Russell's starting to rip, the SPY's continuing to rip, and even the Qs are looking pretty freaking good. Wow. Maybe we should just keep reading that ad over and over and over and over again, because it looks like it got the market going. What else is moving today? Meta's up 1.3%. As we're letting this play out today, do we see any high flyers? Let me turn the audio down a little bit, because what time is it? I think things are going to start to get popping pretty soon. Just to show it to you guys, as of right now, none of my accounts have traded. You can see
target
well,
filled.
Literally as we're talking about it, I knew they were about to fire. So you guys saw it. They're out of my 20 accounts. Nothing had traded yet this morning. And now we are trading a few. 312. Looks like we locked in the first one, and we are looking for the runners to run. Obviously, I am on the wrong tick chart. I like to go a little
Order
bit.
submitted.
There we go.
Order submit.
There we
Target
go.
filled.
Bada bing, bada boom, easy peasy lemon squeezies. This is why I love trading futures. This is why I love trading on Apex, just because I get to use their money and leverage it even larger. But let me move this over here just so things are a little bit easier to see. Bada bing, bada boom. Obviously, my trades are going to be bullish because everything's to the upside. As you can see here, you have the EMA, you have the super trend, where everything's pointing up. I want to ride the trend. So on break points, when it's breaking out, if the momentum's to the upside, if there's a great enough momentum reading, all of my stuff's going to go long. And the only difference between my 20 accounts, the only difference is
Target
the amount
filled.
of momentum needed for it to take its entry position. So some of them, even the smallest one, it's still a decent amount of momentum. Once again, I'm trying to ride the current trend. I'm not trying to fade anything. That's just not how I like to trade these. But as this is going, as with the 20
Order
accounts,
submitted.
some of them just have a higher required momentum reading. And as soon as that's it, it'll take the trade. And then it's just going to be either using the EMA or the super trend as its stop. So well-defined target,
Order submitted.
well-defined risk,
Target
and you
filled.
just ride it
Target filled.
over and
Order
over
submitted.
and over. I mean, you guys are seeing it in real time. I'm telling you, literally, I'm telling you how I do this in real time. Right now, I'm using Apex's money, and I'm just adding it up, and slow and steady wins the race. If you make $100 to $200 to $300 on an account per day, that's roughly $4,000 across all of the 20 accounts. If you do that day over day, it adds up to be monster numbers. I mean, on a daily basis, I would argue that it's a pretty freaking good number. But for those of you that have like that longer term vision, easy peasy lemon squeezies, folks. I just ride the trend every single morning. You guys see what I'm doing. What do we have? I heard people weren't getting paid out on Apex. So mine hasn't been approved. All of mine in the past that have been approved, I've been paid out, like all of them that have hit my bank account. I haven't had that issue, but let me double check. My most recent request, which was from July 15th, is under review, is what I am seeing right now. I'm logging in just to double check because maybe they got it updated. Request payout. Yeah, mine are just under review. So I've requested on 5 different accounts. So basically there's $10,000 just trying to be decided. So when you do it, it says pending, and then it either goes to approved or denied. Basically, did you break any rules or not? If you didn't, you're fine. And this is the first time that I've ever gone to under review. So I guess they're just looking at what's happening. I maybe people are having that issue. I personally haven't experienced that. Whenever mine get approved, the money actually hits my account relatively quickly. I've never had issues with not getting the payout. It comes a lot more to like, am I getting approved or not? So we're going to see because mine are very much under review at this moment in time. And we're going to see the queues are coming a little bit undone. I'm a little hesitant to do anything this morning right now, just because I know the consumer confidence report is coming out at 10. So I want that to come out before I like really get myself into a position like yesterday where I get screwed. But at this moment in time on the S&P 500, the 5-minute, the 10-minute, the 30-minute, and the daily, all 4 are bullish. Look at these EMA lines. These colorized lines that you're seeing are nothing special. They're literally exponential moving averages. There's nothing special to this indicator whatsoever beyond the fact that it's just colorized. That's the only special thing about it, but it is literally just EMA lines. So if we look at the NASDAQ, the 5-minute, the 10-minute, the 30-minute are bullish. The daily is a little suspect, and right now the 5-minute might be breaking down, so we should probably pay attention to that. If you look at the Russell, the 5-minute, the 10-minute, the 30-minute, and the daily are all bullish. So the only thing that I'm not in love with across the S&P 500, the NASDAQ 100, and the Russell 2000, the only thing I'm not happy with out of all 12 is these two.
Target filled.
The NASDAQ on the 5-minute and the NASDAQ on the daily. Beyond that, everything is turning up bullish. And as you can hear, we had some trades firing. So this one ended up hitting its stop loss, and then the other ones ended up. So this one, what did I do? Because it should have cut it way earlier. I must have messed something up, and it hit an extreme amount. What did I do to this? I messed something up because the super trend turned way earlier, and that should have been as soon as the super trend turned in here, and then we saw the EMA and that stuff switch, it should have got out. I messed something up because it should have been right here. As soon as the super trend went red and then it broke, it should have been out at 87. And instead, it got out all the way 40 points lower. Something is up there. I messed something up on that one. This should have been my stop, and then it should have actually got back in right here at 44 on the breakdown, and it actually should have taken a short position and rode it all the way down here. I need to revisit what happened there because it looks like the stop did not go, but the other ones did because we heard it on the audio that it switched over. So maybe there was like a weird little race condition or something, but the code, the logic, the methodology, like the system that it should be doing, like the logic behind it on this breakdown, one of them worked, but this one didn't. That's strange. Anyway, still, we have the shot to go for 19 out of 20, and I'll take it. I mean, of course, I like going 20 for 20, but I'll take 19 for 20. I'm not going to complain about that. And it looks like we have 3 more accounts to trade, and the next one is 282, 326. All right, let's just switch it over to this, 326. All right, 326. Let's see. 3 more accounts to go. So we've traded 17. 1 did not go well. So the best I could do today is 19 out of 20, and I will take it. I will take it. I will take it. We're just going to be riding a little bit of the momentum. I would love for the Qs to turn back around just because I don't like this 5-minute. I mean, even the 10-minute being a little bit suspect. I would love for the 5-minute to turn right back around. Take out 19,270. Once again, this is NQ on the futures market. While we're waiting for all of this to go, there are some things I want to chit chat with you about. Some of the U.S. political things that played out yesterday. Harris team expands push to compete with Trump in swing states. As of now, as of really technically yesterday, 100% of the according to the betting markets and the polls, Trump still has a considerable lead. We're talking about 60 to about 61 to about a 30-ish% chance. So effectively double is the numbers that we're dealing with. But with that being said, she is raising some money, not the most money, but there is money coming from things that at first I didn't know anything about it. And then I realized it's absolutely hilarious. White dudes for Harris raised $3.5 million for Democrat campaign against Trump. I thought, like yesterday, I kept reading things about white dudes for Harris, and I was really confused because I thought it was just like what people were saying. I didn't realize it was like a legitimate organization. I just kept seeing things about white dudes. And I'm like, dude, I'm a white dude and I didn't get invited. So I was a little bit bummed out that I wasn't invited to the party, but apparently it is like a real organization that raised $3.5 million. And then this morning, I realized how absolutely hilarious it is because, folks, if you're ever looking for true journalism, like honest reporting, you're going to look no farther than AB. I'm talking about Antonio Brown. Yes, the formal NFL football player. I'm talking about that guy. If you want real legitimate reporting, all you have to do is go to @AB84, and he has his own CT ESPN because everyone accuses him of having a little bit of a scrambled egg situation for his brains. But right here, as soon as he saw white dudes for Harris, he had to share his journalistic input on the situation. I'm voting for Kamala. And then he's saying what their fight strategy is. And this is apparently how he thinks that they're going to fight. So it's an interesting technique. Please take notes. You might be able to use this. If you ever find yourself in a fight, apparently the technique is just to strip down into some weird underwear and then run at the guy. I'll let you watch it again for those of you, because it happened quickly. It happened very, very quickly. So for those of you who need to take notes, a strong fight strategy. I think I might be using it if I ever get into a fight. But just to show you what this journalism is all about here, what is this one? LFG, go check. All right, I don't know that one. I love Mondays. Sydney Sweeney says she won't stop doing nude scenes in Hollywood. Another great piece of reporting. Crackers of the day. Elderly couple visits 644 out of the 645 Cracker Barrels. That is his award of the Cracker of the Day. We had that one that I just showed you. Just some hard-hitting journalism. For any of you who need a good laugh about what in the world is going on, check it out. I mean, dude, he's throwing zingers. Dwayne Wade reacts to LeBron's performance in his win against Serbia. Y'all know his pronouns, he, him. For those of you who maybe do or don't know about Dwayne Wade, look into it. But anyway, now do your son's pronouns. So he is more than willing to let anything fly. And as you can tell, people find it absolutely hilarious. 104,000 likes. Wild. To follow up on a story from yesterday, we saw that for whatever reason, is it intentional or is it a machine learning mess up? If you look anything to the related story of the attempt on Donald Trump's life, you're not going to find anything. They will not auto-populate it. You literally have to type in the full word Trump. If you type in TRUM, Trump still does not come up. People are starting to notice even weirder things are now happening. When you type in why censorship is into Google search, the majority of suggestions are pro-censorship. Why censorship is important in social media, required, important in schools, good in schools, not justified, important for media. Only one of them is potentially not positive. All the rest are saying you should like it. Whenever anyone's telling you that censorship is good, it's a bit of a red flag if you ask me. On top of it, this is causing the internet to go really crazy. If you search President Donald Trump, those three simple words, you would expect that the world's leading search engine gives you things related to him. And then all of a sudden, news about Harris, Donald Trump. And then right away, you might be thinking, well, hang on, it's a presidential election. We should get news on both. Maybe that's just how it's built. And I could see that, except it's not how it's built. So these are the results if you search President Donald Trump. These are the results if you search Kamala Harris. It's all about Kamala Harris. See the difference here? Donald Trump, you get about news about Harris and Donald Trump. If you search just Harris, you get news about just Harris. So however they want to run it, they should run it, but it should be fair to both. Obviously, they're, like I said, either this is an intentional decision by the world's leading search engine or maybe something went wrong with the machine learning algorithm model, whatever you want to call it. If I had a bet, if I were a betting man, which I am very much a betting man, I would probably say that it's the former. The people at Google, they're smart cookies. I don't think they really mess up that much. It feels like this is very much an intentional decision. But I just wanted to share with you guys the update on some of the weird things that people are starting to notice. And on that note, how's the market looking? I'm trying to keep myself distracted from doing anything silly or inappropriate before 10 a.m. Because that's when we get the consumer confidence number. Meta was popping, and now it's dropping. What IWM coin's going? Where's Bitcoin at? Bitcoin's at 66. So Bitcoin took a hit overnight. Decent recovery right now. We're seeing it with coin trading at 240. Nvidia is down 2%. Nvidia is getting hit. That's rare. I didn't even know it was legal for Nvidia to go down. Apple up about 1%, 0.9%. Remember, it has earnings on Thursday. Meta's still green, but coming down. Rumble swinging back around, up green on the day. Netflix, similar. Amazon, getting it back, but technically green on the day. Oil's getting hit below 75 a barrel. ETH is trading at 3.3. TLT is slightly green on the day. These are important. Obviously, these are bonds, so that'll be important this week with the FOMC decision tomorrow. Texas Roadhouse forever crushing it. Boeing, decent day. Palo Alto Networks, all right day. ASML trying to make a little bit of a bounce back, up 2%. I'm not seeing anything too wild. I mean, Tesla's given back some of its gains. The one that's maybe the most interesting in terms of the bulls is Coinbase. I'm seeing the SPY get brutally smacked at its high from yesterday and the high the day before that, having a really tough time at 547. And then the Q's getting smacked at the high from 2 days ago, 466. So we're seeing some problems early this morning. The first 12 minutes were pretty strong. Since then, the market taking a bit of a hit. Let's check out what's going on in the world of options to see if we can actually figure out what in the world is happening. Options are getting dumped. Options have been getting dumped from 933. How did you know not to buy at today's high at 942? Well, it's because options were actually selling that whole time. There was a clear mismatch, and you just have to wait for there to be a similar direction between the two. If you want to be bullish, look for them both going up. If you want to be bearish, look for them both going down. When you see a mismatch like this, when you see price going up and up and up, but you see options going down and down and down, you don't know who's going to win out. You have to have patience. You cannot trade on a situation like that because you don't know if you're on the right side. Don't be in the business of flipping a coin. Don't do that. Just wait.
Filled.
Oh, hang on. And now it looks like obviously we're taking some bearish trades because the super trend is red. We're below the EMA. We already locked in some of those, and we're just trying to go for a little bit bigger on the gains. Here we go.
Target filled. Target filled.
Did I accidentally move that manually myself? I think I did. I think I messed that trade up. That's unfortunate. Is that it? Nope. Two more accounts. 308 and 282. 308 and 282. 282. Let's go to 282, 282, 282. It's going to take a second for these to trade because remember, these final ones, they require the most amount of momentum to fire their trade, and then they're going to trade with the overall trend. For these accounts, I do not do mean reversion trading. I don't look for extremes and bounce back. I look for a continuation of the current trend. Hence why what you just saw was I was selling NASDAQ contracts because the super trend was red. I was below the EMA. Easy peasy lemon squeezies. And thus far, like I said, I did miss on one of these accounts, and actually something went wrong with the stop. I need to look into that. I don't know what was happening there, but I have two more accounts to trade. As you can see, just 0 and 0. So these have not fired off quite yet. All right. So we're waiting on that. And these final two, like I said, are going to be the most. Something. 282. 326. Hang on a second. No, there are 3 accounts I still need to trade. Scratch that. So I don't have 2. I've now traded 17. So at this point, I messed up. I misspoke. My apologies. I've currently traded I've hit 16 out of 17, and I have 3 more to go. So there's going to be 3 more accounts that still need to trade. I was going to say I usually have 3 that need the most momentum, and I just didn't see it on the list. So there's 3 more accounts that need to be successfully traded. The SPY was good for the first 10, 12 minutes, then came down. The Russell also very good until that point and coming down less. So worthwhile to point that out. I'm not seeing any big movement. The big movement I'm seeing is that NVIDIA is getting its face kicked in. The Qs already just hit their closing value from yesterday, so that might serve as support. Options are not looking the best, but they have kind of flattened out ever since 952. Personally, just to remind everyone, I am not doing anything until we get this consumer confidence report. Consumer confidence, where is it? Right here, should be coming out at, what is today, Tuesday? Yes, so we're going to get 2 things. The JOLTS job openings and the CB consumer confidence, both are coming out at 10 a.m., which means we have a minute and 15 seconds. So this is what I was waiting for before I make any crazy decisions on the day. Don't forget that later on this week, we're going to get the FOMC decision. That's at 2 p.m. tomorrow. And then Jerome Powell speaking at 2:30. Initial jobless claims on Thursday, some ISM numbers. And then on Friday, we're going to be getting the unemployment report. So in terms of macroeconomic updates, events, data drops, important week. We have all these earnings. Folks, this is all in the newsletter. You could get this for free. You don't have to pay for this at all at any point. Just join Locals, macros.locals.com. You can become a member, which is the free option, and you will get this every single weekend to your email inbox. You can be a premium member, aka a supporter, and that's how you get into the Discord, and you can actually join that for free currently if you use the code GOONIE, GOONIE. Will get you to be a supporter, aka a premium member on Locals for free, which is how you get into the Discord, which is how you get the Piper signals, which is how you get the previous lectures, which is how you get all my trades, not only my day trades, but also my swing trades. And also, you're going to have direct access to what I believe is the best trading community on the entire internet. There's a lot of smart cookies in there. I think you're really, really going to enjoy it. And my mod will drop the link in chat if you want to join. And once again, you can test it out for free if you use that code GOONIE. GOONIE. But we are awkwardly waiting. The report just came out. Prophet, do you have those numbers? Prophet, do you have those numbers for me? Prophet is our data guy. He's usually really fast with it. All right, let's see if CNBC has it. Maybe a little bit of a bounce. The Russell didn't like it. The Russell took a bit of a hit on the... Jim. Whoa, Slim Jims. Are we going to turn around off of this?
Good Tuesday morning. Welcome to another hour of Squawk on the Street. I'm David Faber with Leslie Picker. We're live from Post 9 at the New York Stock Exchange.
I guess they're not liking it.
Have the morning off. Let's give you a look at markets.
JOLTS job openings 8.184 expected versus 8.184. They expected 8.02. Consumer sentiment 100.3 when the expectation was 99.7. Whoa. All right, shout out to Prophet. Always has our data for us pretty quick. Market not loving the news at first.
Revenue. And take a look at F5, one of the biggest gainers in the S&P this morning.
Shut up, lady. We're doing our final trades of the day.
Target filled.
Bada bing, bada boom. You heard it. You saw it. If you count these up, I did not go perfect today. I did not. I went 19 out of 20. I'm sorry. Your boy is not perfect. Do I wish I was perfect? Yes. Does my mom tell me I'm perfect? No, actually, she has some really harsh words most of the time. But anyway, I'm not a perfect trader. I went 19 out of 20. I did my best. I got up this morning. I hydrated. I went to the gym. I did everything I could, and I just could not hit that level of perfection. But hey, there's always tomorrow. So did I go 20 out of 20? No, I went 19 out of 20, but I still managed to probably make roughly about 4K between all of these accounts. So yeah, I'm happy with it. Of course I am. So with that, as always, if you guys are interested in Apex, check it out. Sign up to take the test to trade with their money. Folks, I don't have $1 million. I'm trading with their money. If you want to do it, use that code. Once again, the code's Goonie. And the test right now is about $34. So if you want to take the test and start trading with their money, they have different size accounts. I like the 50K account the best. If you have any questions on it, I'm more than happy to answer. If I don't know the answers, I could probably get them for you. But my biggest tip ever is as soon as you make your trades on the day, as soon as you're happy, as soon as you do exactly what your plan tells you to do, my biggest tip is this: be disciplined. Turn it off. Be disciplined. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. That is my absolute biggest tip of how to do well on something such as Apex. And the SPY is now getting hit, and it is getting hit hard on this. Folks, this is exactly why I wait for these events. The consumer confidence, the sentiment came in more than expected, and the JOLTS job openings came in more than expected. And clearly, the market is no fan of that. Options, though, not going down as bad as you would think. So even though price is seemingly diving, if you look at options, we actually are double bottoming on options. This might be a buy the dip situation. I'm going to watch options closely, but I would not be riding this to the downside. Look at options are starting to bounce. The options market is actually starting to buy this up. This might be the old switcheroo. This might be the old fake out, folks. I don't have confidence in it yet. I'm going to wait. I'm going to do what I can. Now that I'm 30 years old, I need to be disciplined. I need to be on the ball, and I can't mess this up. So I'm just going to wait. I'm going to see how things play out. But the fact that options are starting to pick up and they're not really agreeing with this vomit, once again, as soon as I see a mismatch, so I see in chat even SPY full-on vomit. Once again, that's one piece of information, and we've all seen extreme sell-offs that get worse, but we've also seen absurd V-shaped recoveries. And obviously, as an active trader, your job is to discern which one is most likely going to play out. So that means you need other pieces of information, and one of the most obvious ones is obviously what is happening in the options market. For me, I really only like to do my trades if both price and options are in agreement. If there's a mismatch, I have to wait for the mismatch to be resolved to know which side of the trade to be on. So if you're arbitrarily saying, oh, the SPY went down and I should short, you're going to get blown up. It might work for you. It'll work for you half the time, and the other half of the time it's not going to work, but you're still not going to be profitable because your gains aren't going to outweigh your losses. If you took this trade and you arbitrarily chased it down, I hope you make money. I'm never, ever hoping that people are going to lose money, but simultaneously, I also hope that you start to refine your trading methodology so you can actually be net profitable. Because if you're continually chasing breakouts and breakdowns, you are just asking for serious problems, like legitimately bad problems. You will not be a profitable trader by chasing every breakout and chasing every breakdown. I'm not in any way, do not misconstrue this by saying, oh, don't trade breakouts or breakdowns. No, that can be a strategy, but there's a time and place to do it. You want other forms of confirmation, such as a spike in volume, such as the options market agreeing with you, such as the breakout or breakdown going in trend with a larger time frame. So if you're sitting there and you're only looking at one time frame and you're chasing the breakout or breakdown, you're going to be right some of the times, and some of the trades will be good, but in the longer term sense, that is not a profitable trading strategy. So if you took that trade, I wish you the best of luck. I hope you made money. We'll see how it goes. I'm not really bullish or bearish bias right now. What I'm waiting for is to see what options are doing, and I'm seeing options are coming back. So if you traded that to the downside and you're still somehow green even right now, you want to be careful because options are picking up. Options are very much picking up. Do not fight the freight train that is 0 DTE options. Yeah, CrowdStrike is getting annihilated now that they're getting sued. So CrowdStrike, by a show of hands or by a show of comments, how many people are actively betting against CrowdStrike and how many people are actively betting on CrowdStrike? If you're betting against CrowdStrike, I totally understand it. It makes sense. Your play is basically that they're going to get sued into oblivion because they messed up a lot of critical infrastructure and cost companies billions of dollars in aggregate. That makes sense. If you're buying CrowdStrike, what? Why would you have to be a lunatic. You have to be a straight up madman to be bullish on CrowdStrike in terms of price action, in terms of options market, and in terms of just the news, the fundamental news. Like you're literally just guessing. Like you're saying, hey, I love to stab my hand with a knife because that's what you're trying to do. You are trying to catch a falling knife that is huge. It is absurd. It is sharp. It is heavy. Don't try to catch that one. That makes no sense. If you are bullish on this, you're just a madman. Like I don't understand. I'm saying that with no play. I personally have no bullish or bearish position on CrowdStrike, but that would be insane to be playing it. You're a great mentor, Matt. I don't know about that. I could be better. There's definitely some people with fragile egos in chat who get a little bit mad about my mentorship style when I'm basically calling you people stupid for making stupid decisions, but it's never out of malice. I think I could call a decision stupid without the person being stupid. We all make stupid decisions. I made a stupid decision yesterday. I literally was betting my entire account on a 0 DTE option that expired while I was on the train and had no access to manage it. I make stupid things all of the time. So you can make stupid decisions without being a stupid person. But am I a great mentor? I don't know. I don't think so. I think I ruffle too many feathers. There's not many people who like really enjoy my my, I guess, teaching or style or whatever. FTDs on DJT. You know what? I reached out to Ortex and I said, hey, why are they not populating? And they said something with the ID. So they made a request for an ID update from the data provider, and they actually got all the information. So shout out to Ortex for actually taking care of it. But I do want to show you, we do have the FTD update. We finally have it in there. Where is it? Very, very cool of these guys to kind of swing their weight around and actually get us some answers. But let me, so here are your FTDs. Massive spike. As we expected it, huge amount of suspect things going on in DJT. Friday, June 21st. You're hearing it here. Like no one else is talking about this. Really the whole month of June, absurd. Absolutely absurd. And this was all happening as the stock was getting pummeled. And then right when it turned around was the biggest spike. For those of you who don't know what a fail to deliver is, the way our system works is it's kind of net at the end of the day. Every brokerage looks at it, okay, are we net buyers because of our users? Are we net sellers? And then if you're a net buyer seller, you go to the other brokerages that are the opposite of that. And you're like, okay, money goes one way and the ownership, the actual shares go the other way. Well, sometimes that process doesn't happen. If you're saying, hey, we're a net buyer of 10,000 shares and the brokerage is like, well, I don't know, we only have 8,000. Why? Like what? That's a failed to deliver of 2,000. Well, on June 21st, Friday, June 21st, that number got over 4.4 million. Got over 4.4 million. That's insane. Are you working with Citron? Are you going to get in trouble? You think I work with Citron? No. What? Why would I work with Citron? Folks, I'm a Pico influencer. You think I need to work with hedge funds? What? The internet's weird. People, I don't know. Are we just asking crazy questions now? Matt, did you eat Frosted Flakes for breakfast? Just like has literally nothing to do with it. Matt, how many push-ups can you do after you do a cycle of trend? I don't know. I mean, is it just a day of, like in part of the same little web? You think I'm in the world of professional Wall Street? Do you hear the things that I say? Do you see the way that I act? You think I'm invited to professional Wall Street? You know every single time when I say Jerome Powell's calling me and warm, you know that's a joke, right? I just want to clarify that you understand when I'm like, yo, Jerome Powell and the world's leading economists are like getting you know it's a joke. I just want to be very, very clear that you understand that I've done and said and acted in ways that are too far outside of the bands of like professionalism, that not even like professional Wall Street, but like professional corporate America. I'm not allowed there anymore. Because you were really in sync with the euphoric and dysphoric pushes in AMC a few years ago. So because of that, you think I'm connected with a short hedge fund, a short thesis hedge fund? I mean, folks, let's give her a round of applause. Not only is Simone Biles turning it up in France, Apparently, she's here in chat because her physical gymnastics and these mental gymnastics are both gold medal performances. Folks, please join me. A round of applause. Simone Biles is in chat. Simone, you are just crushing it. Absolutely crushing it. The fact that Simone has the time to not only just represent the U.S. in one of the most historic manners ever, but has the time to come in here and chat about stocks and show us her mental gymnastics. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. You know, Simone, we appreciate it. We absolutely appreciate it. This is what's so funny about, well, not funny. It's actually kind of sad. This, like, the cult-like nature of, like, comments like this of, like, what's going on. People just get so wrapped up on it. We saw it with AMC. We saw it with GME. We saw it with FFIE is the most recent one, where that was like, it's just like, there's people with absolutely no intellect that all of a sudden get into this group of other people with literally no intellect. And then they all just get behind this crazy idea. And you, like, there's almost no point in conversing with them, because when you ever give them any contradictory information or something to think about, it causes them to dig their heels in more, and then they just start like saying wild things. Oh, Citadel, you weren't going to hedge on, you're a shell, this is all fun. It's always like these high level things, and there's no logic, there's no reasoning, and you see it time and again. It wasn't exclusively GameStop. We saw a whole nother community do it with AMC. We saw a whole nother community do it with FFIE. We saw a whole nother community do it with Doge, a whole nother community do it with Shiba. It's something about, is it just purely money? Is it like this money-driven thing where people just go nuts? Or is it a bigger level where we see it, whatever? We see these cult-like followers of Trump. We see cult-like followers of Kamala Harris. So we see it on the political level. We see it with religion. I mean, think about how many wars. Like, something about our brains as humans is like just off. And like we get into this like sense of tribalism, and it just gets so nuts. And it sounds like just our brains, like the Homo sapien brain, is just so susceptible to falling into these types of things, and then not even realizing that they're like in a group with like truly no logic. It's actually kind of wild that we are like that, but there's a gazillion examples. I think it's a story as old as time, and I think it's going to be a story that probably outlives time in all reality, because I guess it's how we do it. At least I made money with Doge. Oh, I mean, all these in general are money-making opportunities. You just can't drink that much of the Kool-Aid. You show up to these cult parties, you check out their snack bar, you eat a couple of the cookies, you talk to a couple of the baddies, and you have to know when it's time to leave. My best example, the best way I can explain the cult-like nature and how to succeed in this particular world, it's the same way when you go out to the bar. We've all been there when your boys call you up and they're like, hey, we're going to hit a happy hour. It's a beautiful Friday. Let's go sit outside of a taqueria. Let's get some nachos. Let's crush some margs. And you're like, okay, cool. 2 to 3 to 4 margs into it, you're thinking to yourself, wow, that bartender has a pretty heavy pour. And then your boys, now that it's starting to metabolize in your system, you start to think, okay, maybe my buddy here is right. Maybe I should go to another bar. And that's when you're hit with your first impediment. That's when you're sitting there. You probably should go home, whatever. You probably should sell. You probably should take your money, but you're a problem solver at heart, especially when you're with your boys. And they're like, hey, it doesn't matter you forgot your license. I have an extra license anyway. You can use my license to go to this bar. So you overcome the first impediment where you probably should have left, probably should have gone home, slept it off, got some water, worked it out of your system. You probably should have sold at 100% gains, but you didn't. You didn't whatsoever. You get to the next bar. The ID that is not yours works flawlessly. And you get in there, and someone makes the genius decision that maybe, just maybe, we should have espresso martinis. This is where things go a little high octane. You're going to have a couple. And there's going to be that point when you're looking in the mirror and no one's looking back. You're looking at the shell of yourself, and you think to yourself, I need to go home. You have a lot of travel. You have important things to go. This is when the stock, the crypto, The degeneracy is at the highest level. This is peak euphoria. This is where you're thinking, yeah, maybe I could fight those 4 bouncers at once and still win. Maybe if I give my phone number to every girl in the bar, I'll get some responses. This is when you're at peak euphoria. That's the moment to go. When you are there on someone else's ID, thinking you can fight the bouncers, you see the shell of a man and you're still mobile, you're still capable of getting yourself an Uber, you're still enjoying the veggie spread at the cult meeting, you got to stop there before you get to the Kool-Aid. You got to stop there before your buddy's like, hey, who could shotgun this neutral even faster? You got to stop before the Kool-Aid, before the shotgunning of neutrals, before the fall of the stock, before the fall of the equity, before the fall of the future, the options contract, whatever. You get out. You have to know when to leave. This is a skill that's not only useful and profitable in the stock market, it's useful and profitable and the accurate thing to do in many things in life. And that's the issue with these cults is they're surrounded by everyone who is literally just an echo chamber. Like the same bullshit just keeps resonating louder and louder and louder and louder that they don't know when to leave. They think it's okay to drink the Kool-Aid. They think it's okay to shotgun the neutral and fight the bouncers. They think it's okay to overstay their welcome. So from an active trading perspective, I have no issue with the craziness of GME, AMC, Doge, Shiba, FFIE. I think it's all money-making opportunity if you're an active trader. See, what's going on at these cult meetings when you drink a bunch of the Kool-Aid is they warp people's mind into thinking that an active trade, something that is clearly only an active trade, is somehow an investment. And that's what we've seen. GameStop, AMC, Doge, Shiba, FFIE, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. We saw it with all the SPACs in 2021. Like I could come up with a gazillion examples of people not being able to delineate between active trades and investments. GME, AMC, those were obviously the high-flying ones. Those were active trades. Chewy, an active trade, not an investment. And there's too many people who are getting hoodwinked, bamboozled, tricked into thinking they're investments. And if you do not have the emotional discipline or the intellect to be able to know which one is which, this game is not for you. It like 100%, it is not for you. This might sound harsh, but you should stop actively trading. You should always invest. I am never against investing. Buy yourself the S&P 500, wait 3 decades, and you're going to come back most likely a very wealthy person. Investing is for everyone. Actively trading is not. It's not. I get that. I get right now we have some fragile emotional states where we all grew up in the world of participation trophies and we think, oh, you could do anything if you set your mind to it. That's a bullshit lie. I'm never going to be an NFL player, ever. It's not going to happen. Some people are never going to be an active trader. It's just some people, we are not all built the same. And right now, one of the greatest lies in Western world is that we're all the same and we can all do it. Fuck no, dude. I'm not going to beat Noah Lyles. The only way I will beat Noah Lyles in a sprint is if he somehow does not have legs. And even then, it's probably 50-50 odds because I have a feeling he's faster on his hands than I am with my legs. My point is that we're not all built the same. In life, to be massively successful, you have to find the intersection of what you're naturally talented at and also have a passion for. That is the purest, easiest road to success. The overlap between your natural talents, your passion, and what society finds useful. You need to find the overlap of those 3 things, and it's going to be unique for every single person. So the way I don't have a natural talent to be a sprinter or an NFL or a teacher or anything like that, like I would be a horrible like elementary school teacher. I'd end up swearing at kids all day and parents would come in and they would protest against me. For some reason in the world of trading, people think that like if they just try hard, which they don't even know what trying hard is, but in their mind, they're like, oh, if I just try hard, I can make money. No, active trading is not for everyone. To be blatantly honest, there are many, many people, and all the stats show it, 95% of active traders end up losing money. The odds are already stacked against you. It's just, look at the 95 people above you in chat right now. They're not going to win at trading. Look at the 5 people below you. They're going to win at trading. That's the split. 95% don't do well. 5 do well. The 5% who do well, they can do extraordinarily well. And then there's like that weird group in the middle who don't trade at all, but they have like a marketing campaign and they show pictures of their like rented Lambo that they're like somehow good at it. So wild stuff is always happening in this world. Always. But circling back to this diatribe that I went on of someone asking me about Citron research. No, I don't work on professional Wall Street. And the fact that this is still a thing, the fact that you can go and search and people are still talking about this is the most insane thing to me ever. AMC, the fact that people are still, well, actually this one's interesting because this was Ryan Reynolds. But right here, AMC chart is really setting up for a trade. No, it's not. It's trash. AMC is getting the golden cross. Trash. The fact that there's still Twitter space calls. These people are stupid people. Like, without a doubt, they are just dumb people. Same thing with GME. They don't realize that Roaring Kitty just dumped all over them between May and June, and they think there's still like a chance. GME is getting 30 likes, about 35,000 shares. It's stupid. It's 600 likes. These people are dumb people. You can see it with FFIE. I think this community has now died effectively. Let's see. FFIE. Nope. Apparently some people are still talking about it, but it's a complete scam. What was the other one? What's MMAT? Metamaterials? They're literally getting sued by the SEC for lying, and people are still thinking, oh, here's the FFIE drama, more FFIE. How do people keep falling for these garbage plays? Because people, the way religion is commonly pitching eternal salvation, people keep getting sucked into this. And I've thought about it a lot because it's pitched to them as financial salvation. If you do this one thing, you could be rich beyond your wildest dreams by tomorrow. And it's bullshit. It's bullshit. Real wealth is a function of time. Think about it. Your best trades ever, the most money you've ever made on trades, if you looked at your top 5 to 10 winning trades, it's going to be a function of time. That's true directly in trading. It's true in life. The magnitude of good and bad is going to be a function of time. Very good things get that good over time. Very bad things get that bad over time. And people, they want to, I don't know, take the quick road. The easy road of, nope, I got to play this 0 DTE right now, bet everything and hope I make money. And hey, once in a while people do it and I'm envious, I'm jealous, they pull it off, but it's not a repeatable methodology that anyone can reasonably expect to do. It's just, that's simply not how our world works. Man, I would love for this market to pop. I would love, options are still getting beat up. If you're wondering why we bounced a little bit, and then vomited right at 1021. The options took a big hit. You can see it right here. So I'm still just watching this, looking to see if there's a setup. The 5-minute is now in the bearish territory. The 10 minutes now in the bearish territory, and the 30-minute is now below. If you look at the NASDAQ, the 5, the 10, and the 30 are all below. If you look at the Russell, the 5 and the 10 are below, or the 10 and the 30 are testing, but the 5 is below. So as bullish and strong as an opening that we had on the SPY, the Qs, and the Russell, ever since that consumer sentiment report at 10, things abruptly changed. So let's see what kind of reversals we do or don't have today. But the 30-minute ES and NQ are looking a little bit suspect. So this 30-minute bar is going to be closing in 3 minutes. So I'm curious if it's going to be closing above or below the 50 EMA. Clearly on the NASDAQ, it will be closing below. We have things like CrowdStrike getting absolutely smoked. NVIDIA getting absolutely smoked. Apple's in the green. Microsoft's in the green. Meta's in the green. DJT's taking a little bit of a hit. RUM just went slightly red. Netflix slightly green, Amazon slightly green, gold is going up. What do we have? Who is the culprit today? Why is everything selling off? Let's figure out what in the world is going on. So let's look at energy. XLE is up. The energy sector is up. Once again, XLE. The financial sector is up. XLF. Utilities are flat. Industrials are slightly up. Healthcare, XLV, went up, then came down. Consumer discretionary is starting to go up. And consumer staples is also starting to go up. But it's red on the day, but intraday it's starting to push a little bit. So the real culprit is XLK. If you want to know why the SPY is getting hit, like what is the weak subsector within the S&P 500, it is tech. All the other sectors are pretty much neutral or going up. The only other one we haven't checked is real estate, which is it went up and then came down, but it's still kind of holding. So the real culprit is tech, XLK, the technology subsector of the S&P 500. But everything, I mean, energy's up, financials are up, consumer staples are breaking to the upside, consumer discretionary is breaking to the upside. And if you want to know the subsector of tech that's really messing it up, it is semiconductors. Semiconductors, NVIDIA, AMD, Intel, Qualcomm, Micron, Broadcom, all of those semiconductors, the processing chips, this is the weak sector. Why is tech going down? It's, okay, why is the market going down? Because the tech. Why is tech going down? Because of semiconductors. That's the answer. That's what's happening right now in real time. Bonds took a little bit of a hit. I find it surprising that financials are looking so good right now with bonds, but it's just back to like break even on the day from where it closed out yesterday. So this is the culprit over here. Tech, and specifically players like, I mean, look at NVIDIA. It's just getting shit on. It's not looking good. NVIDIA's down. Broadcom's down. ASML, trending down. It gapped up, but trending down. How's AMD looking? AMD's reporting holding a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if AMD's caught in a holding pattern because of its earnings. INTC, Intel is going down. Micron is going down. The whole semiconductor industry is just getting murked right now. Just getting absolutely murked. Riley shorted 73% and squeezes every 3 months for past 6 to 9 months. I don't really care about Riley. What's it even look like? I mean, this concept, B. Riley Financials, I mean, it's a horrible looking stock. You're trying to buy this? I mean, you might be able to swing it if it crosses over. I see what you're saying of like it swings up and it has a good couple week run, but it looks like shit. I still like to trade with the overall trend. So if anything, I think it's why play this to the upside? Why not wait for said spike and then you play with the overall trend by riding it back down? I'm always thoroughly confused by so many people are willing to go against the overall trend. Do you know how much easier your life is riding the trend? Because even if you're wrong on the timing, you have a shot that the overall trend continues and it breaks in your favor anyway. So if we're looking at the same thing, you're focusing on the one part where it's going up, it's way easier to ride it down. Way easier to ride it down. Make your life simple. When things are highly shorted, a high percentage of the time, they are highly shorted for a very good reason. The people who are in control of big money and make those big short decisions, those are not stupid people. Those are people who have done hundreds, if not thousands of hours of total man-hour research. They're not just willy-nilly throwing on billions of dollars of shorts. It's for a good reason. Ride the trend. You want to ride the overall trend of price, especially if it's with big money. We are little minnows in this world of trading. Unless we have billionaires in here watching this right now, just go with big money. Go with the trend. Your life is going to be way simpler. Don't be the random ass retail person who's like, nah, the trend's wrong. Big money's wrong. I'm right on my play of $500 on call options expiring next week. It doesn't make sense. Make your trading journey and your trading life simple. Trade with the money, trade with the flow, trade with the trend. Simple. Matt, please respond. I didn't see any of these pop up. I'm still not seeing any of these. Hang on, I'm scrolling. I got 80 shares of ADX. When did you send this? Oh, you sent it when I was doing my opening monologue. I got 80 shares of ADX at 2022 and they announced the tender offer. Should I take it or not? Advice would be appreciated. I have no idea. Adams Diversified Equity Fund. Investment. It's a mutual fund. I don't know what they're in. Oh. This was the offer. The price will be equal to 98% of the net assets per share at the close of ordinary trading day in New York Stock Exchange, or if the tender offer is extended. You would have to, I don't know what's in it. You'd have to look at the total net asset value And when is it for? August 2nd. So it's probably trading right at what that value is going to be. People already probably did the math. I don't think there's any way to like game the situation. I have no, this might come as a surprise to you, but I do not memorize the composition of every mutual fund on the planet. So there's not, whatever you decide to do, it's probably only going to have a minuscule impact on if you're like quote unquote what right or wrong. It probably, as the fact that that is already announced, it's probably going to be perfectly pinned to, you said 98%. I don't think there's like some crazy thing you can do or not do. And to know that 98% of the net asset value, you'd have to know everything in the fund. And I'm not going to go do that math. I mean, you could do it yourself, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like that complex of a problem. And it also seems like whether you solve the problem or you don't, I don't think there's like a huge swing of being right or wrong. It feels very minuscule. The SPY's looking heavy. The Qs are looking heavy. What do we have? SMH. Semiconductors are just getting rocked, folks. Semiconductors are dragging the Qs down. The Qs are dragging the SPY down. This is bad. Bad. Oh, I forgot the tarot cards. Good call. My apologies. This is the second day in a row that I forgot these tarot cards. I'm deeply sorry. Deeply sorry about that. Let's give it a good shot. Dude, this is still going. Holy shit. Holy guacamole, Batman. Holy guacamole. Well, here's to hoping that the FOMC and whatnot can spin this back around. Look at the range we've already had. $3 on the SPY. We've already had $4 on the Qs. At least the Russell is holding 222. Hopefully that doesn't keep vomiting. All right. We are rightfully shuffled. 3, 2, 1. Stop. Okay. Heart of the cards. Oh, market gods. Allow me to be your vessel. Allow me to execute your will in the world's largest casino today. We got the moon, which is a very interesting card to get when the market's going down. Is this telling us that we're about to moon? I feel like there's a couple ways we can be interpreting this, but we literally just pulled the moon card, which is very, very interesting when we're traders. Let's see what the moon's all about. Let me see if I can get in on this. The moon. Ooh, there's the moon. The moon. In the tarot, the moon is linked to the subconscious and draws on the long-held belief that human behavior is affected by the waxing and waning of the moon in its continuous cycle. When the moon appears in a spread, it is often signifies a time of confusion, since we cannot fathom the depths of the subconscious or fully understand the direction in which it steers us. It may appear when your dreams are particularly vivid, or when you feel drawn to artistic pursuits, meditation, divination, or perhaps a psychotherapy, all of which can offer a path to greater understanding. You may be feeling unsettled or emotional or unsure of your feelings. Often the best option is to embrace the uncertainty, explore the inner psyche as we best know how, and put off decisive action until the next stage of the cycle. So the perfect tarot card interpretation is your trades will moon, but not at the moment. You have to wait. That's what it's telling us. It is telling us it's coming. It's there. We have to wait for the cycle, but it's not going to be a short-term thing. So hold the path steady. We're about to take out the low from yesterday. We were on the right path, but time will be required for us to successfully moon. That's what it is. Draw another card. Oh, and what? Break the entire cosmos? No. I don't want to be the guy who ruins the universe for everyone else. We'll we're going to take a beat on that one, brother. We're definitely going to be taking a beat on that one. Unsettled market. That's what I'm saying, dude. These tarot cards never miss. They truly never miss. It's a time of confusion. It's a time of absurdity. If you feel the absolute desire to trade, you're probably going to want to size down. But in terms of your overall trades, it is ideally best. It is ideally best to just take a beat. We're on the right path. We just need time. We need patience. And you got to have faith. You got to have faith that the market gods know what they're doing. Ooh, that is a brutal sell-off. A brutal sell-off. Where are we at here? Elon Musk. Oh, is this the real Elon Musk?
Watch as this guy goes to a Biden protest in a Trump shirt and a Trump event in a Biden shirt. You can clearly see the difference between Trump and Biden supporters.
I'm right into the Biden protest with the Trump shirt. Get your ass across the street. What the f*** is everyone so hostile?
Go over there with your people.
You guys are my people. Look.
No, you're not. You're a Trump supporter.
No, Biden sniffs children, not Trump. No, stop. Don't sniff. Stop, I'm blending in. No. Why is everyone so angry? I'm just walking the sidewalk. You see how much hate it is over here? It's a public sidewalk. I feel like I'm gonna get jumped out. Oh, man. So when you poured water on me, did it make you feel happy? Yeah. I have to change shirts. Can I hide behind you? Okay. Okay. I was feeling crazy today. Hey, come on. It's just so much more respect over here. I'm here for my favorite president, Biden 2024. I want to sniff children.
Watch as this guy
Feels
goes
like it's
to a
a
Biden protest
very,
in a
very different vibe. Just in, high cost of living has been the most important financial problem for U.S. families for the third year in a row. In 2024, a record 41% of surveyed Americans claimed that the high cost of living inflation is their largest financial issue. This is up from the previous all-time high of 35% in 2023 and 32% in 2022. Additionally, high cost of owning or renting a home has been the second largest financial issue, clocking in at 14%. To put that into perspective, even during the 2008 financial crisis, just 18% of Americans saw high cost of living as their number one problem. Many Americans can no longer afford basic necessities. Yeah, inflation's a very, very real thing that for the first time in many, many decades, people are starting to understand what it is.
Who here has ever touched a kid? No, not like that. Really? No takers. Never touched a kid. How about you, Michael? Come on. Not gonna bite. Now, Michael, you're telling me you've never hugged your nephew?
Of course I have.
So you touched him.
I guess when you put it that way, yeah.
Get him.
Get him.
See, Michael here decided to open a salad store directly across the road from a Sweet Green location that I own. Big mistake, Michael, because whenever I get a whiff of competition, I frame the opposition as a pedophile. All my competitors are in jail, or at the very least, on a registered sex offender list. If you come at the king, you better not miss. Who here has ever...
I mean, he has a valid point. He has a pretty, I guess, if that's who you're fighting against and you're coming for him, you definitely don't want to miss. You definitely do not want to miss. I think you guys did send in some other reacts, so let's see what we have here. We have a couple. The American people can't believe that congressional stock trading is legal already.
The historic nature of this, finally getting to a vote. There's been a lot of talk about banning stock trading by members of Congress. Never have we been able to get a vote. We're going to get that vote today. And
Nice.
I just think that this is such a simple proposition. The American people, when I go home and I say to folks, they ask me about stock trading, here's the thing that absolutely stuns them. They can't believe that it's legal already. They can't believe we can currently do it. Most
if you have a
members of the
brain
public
stem,
think
you would think it's
already
weird.
banned. And when I say actually it's 100% legal, they say why? And there's no good answer to that question. We should be here to focus on the public's business, not private gain. We shouldn't be here day trading. We shouldn't be here focusing on our stock portfolios. We should be here doing what the American people sent us to do. And that's what this bill is about.
Solid.
With that, I yield back, Mr. Chair.
Pelosi is not going to like to hear that. What is this? Too many words.
So encryption needs support, and it's not a crime. And I just wanted to put that on your radar. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak.
Can I just respond to that really quickly? Privacy is the point. With no privacy, there's no freedom. It's a prerequisite for freedom. We torture people by putting them in boxes and staring at them all day and keeping the lights on. That's the worst punishment we mete out in the United States, is solitary confinement monitored. No privacy, no freedom. You know where there is privacy and secrecy in great abundance? The federal government, which is classified over 1 billion documents describing what they're doing with our money in our name. This is our government. And yet they have every right to keep key decisions from us. They just allowed the presidential candidate to get shot, and we're not allowed to know how that happened or why. So to take a lecture from them about how I'm a criminal because I want privacy in my financial transactions or my phone calls or my text messages, really fuck you, actually.
And you don't get it?
And I don't get it, but I demand it. I'm sorry to use profanity, but that makes me so mad. That's prima facie evidence of a crime. You haven't even declassified the Kennedy assassination files 61 years later, and you're lecturing me about wanting to have an encrypted text conversation. How dare you? You worked for me. You should be in prison.
I agree. Yeah. Thank you. Free Ross. Free Ross.
Yeah. And when Snowden can come back to this country to the ticker tape parade he deserves, then we'll know we live in a free country.
Tucker dropping some truth bombs.
You know what's actually crazy? The same people who are telling us that Kamala is ready to be the first female president are the same people who in fact told us that Joe Biden was healthy and ready for another 4 years. You guys are all about being pro-choice, and yet you had no choice in this. You know what's actually crazy? The same people...
Different type of choice, but in terms of a democracy, I've ranted and raved about this. It does feel like for the Democrats that they didn't get to pick their person, and I feel like there's a better person they could have picked. Probably many. Oh, these oil people. Dude, these are the worst kind of people. Yeah, makes everyone want to join your side because you have temper tantrums like a toddler. Is this an airport? How did they bring this into an airport? Are they spraying stuff at an airport? I feel like that's a perfect way to just get murked. Check in. Yeah. You do this in an American airport, you come in and start spraying stuff at an airport, they're lucky they didn't catch a bullet to the dome piece. This is one of the dumbest things outside of what they're doing in general, and like clearly they're not pushing their points. If you are spraying unknown things in an airport, you are playing with fire. That is dumb. That is so dumb.
Did Kamala Harris wipe her drug sentencing record clean from the internet? I wanted to find out how
No,
many people
everyone's
Kamala
talking
Harris
about
was
it.
sent to jail for marijuana-related offenses during her time
1,500,
as a prosecutor.
I believe.
couldn't find it on the internet anywhere, so I asked ChatGPT. I said, how many people did Kamala Harris prosecute for marijuana? It said that she handled over 1,900 marijuana-related convictions. So I asked the AI engine 4 sources, and each source was valid, except the one related to how many convictions her office actually handled. ChatGPT cited the Washington Examiner, and when I clicked the link, I was given an error 404, this webpage does not exist. I asked if it could provide me with some more links, and so it did. It cited PolitiFact, Democracy Now!, and Marie Claire. So I clicked the PolitiFact link. This webpage does not exist. Democracy Now!, the page you're looking for doesn't
is she
exist. Marie Claire,
scrubbing her
sorry,
own
error
history?
404. Every other time that I've used ChatGPT to gain sources, the links have always worked. It's only with this specific
Dude, that's
claim,
suspect.
this specific piece of information that every
Kamala ain't
single
Brat.
source that
She's
at one
sus.
time made this claim has taken their webpage down. Let me know what you think down below, and follow me here for updates.
That's a little bit wild. We got to fact check that one, though. Breaking: officers in Venezuela are reportedly removing their uniforms and joining the election protesters. unnecessarily loud. What? Dude, Venezuela is in chaos, brother. This is nuts. Nuts. All right, yeah, I guess they're just taking off their stuff and joining. Wild. All right, market bouncing a tad, but still overall lower highs, lower lows. Clearly the trend is to the downside. Maybe a little bit of a double bottom here on the Russell. The culprit is the semiconductors. It is clearly the semiconductors just getting hit. Getting hit. Yeah, this one's getting a bit busted. A bit busted. Wow. The only thing that's trying to hold on right now is the Russell. Oh, and it's holding on by the skin of its teeth. The small caps are getting a little bit smoked. SPY's getting a little bit smoked. Wow. Hang on, where are we at? Piper? Nope, Piper didn't fire yet. Oddly enough. Oddly enough. Where are we at? Just waiting for this bar to close, I think. I don't know why stuff isn't working. Not working for me today, amigo. All right. Russell's doing its thing. Do we see what's green? Apple's trying to hold green. Meta's trying to hold green. Netflix is trying to hold green, trending down. Amazon, similar. Bonds? Nope, bonds are in the red. Texas Roadhouse is green. Boeing, ASML, dude, there's some clear tech weakness. JPM. All right, so financials are looking good. JPM's looking great. How's KRE? KRE's looking decent. Green on the day. This is the regional banking sector, so think way smaller banks than like Wells Fargo, Citi, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs. So financials are looking great. XLF, if you're looking to be bullish on something, XLF might be where it's at. Who said this? CrowdStrike is ripping? I highly doubt it. Yeah, it's ripping. More like RIPing. It is resting and piecing because that looks horrible. So financials are the bullish sector of the day. There's a couple other ones that are somewhat following it. Consumer staples, consumer discretionary a little, but really what we're seeing is major weakness in the tech. So strength in financials, weakness in tech. Small cap is kind of like netting out. Technically, it's green on the day. I would still love for it to push 224, 225. And the SPY's caught somewhere in the middle because, yes, financials are bringing it up, but tech weighs more. So as tech continues to bleed, it's kind of dragging it down. But we're going to see. We're going to see. I actually haven't done my options trade yet today just because I thought there would be a bigger bounce back. I just thought there would be a better risk point. So clearly it's trending down. I'm not trying to fight the trend here. 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute bearish, 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute bearish. So clearly I'd be on the bearish side of things. Maybe if it starts to break down from here, I'll take the trade. I was just trying to look for I needed a reasonable risk point, and it sold so quickly that I just didn't really have anything to sell off of. So I'm just waiting for my moment because yesterday when I was rushing trades, that's what clearly got me in trouble. So I'm trying to find just like a better thing. Where are we at? We're at 62. Volatility is picking up. Volatility is picking up. Oh, brother. Do I want to throw a trade on? Meow? Meow? All right, I'm seeing if I could actually get this trade in. Going with a slightly different game plan today. Slightly different game plan. All right, I think, yeah, it did just get filled. I heard the ding. Orders. Orders. Where's my working? Hello? What is happening? Okay, there we go. I'm having some issues seeing my positions right now, but I think I got it to all pop up. Open. Okay. If you are in the Discord, I am getting a screenshot right now of my position and sending it in there. Folks, if you want to join the Discord, you can literally get this trade today. So you choose, you could Piper already fired off. You could get that. Upon my debauchery yesterday, I'm coming to this with a slightly different mindset of what I should be doing and how I should be doing it. So slightly different trade. I'll be explaining it to the Discord later today. If you want to join the Discord, let me find the link and I will pin it to the top of chat. The first month is 100% free. So you could join it for a month. And if you don't like it, just cancel your account within that first month and it will not cost you a single dime. So yes, when I say free, I very much mean free. I'm pinning the link to the top of chat right now. It's also in the description of the video. It says Goonie Trading Discord. If you're on the website, it's going to look like this. If you click on the link, it's going to be macros.locals.com/support/promo/Goonie. It's going to look like this. There's me on the right. Join the Goonie Discord for free. All you have to do is make sure the promo code Goonie is applied. Goonie. Make sure that is applied. When you hit subscribe monthly, check it out. Make sure it's there. Double check that it's there. That's how your first month is free. It is the end of July. So if you like it, great. Stick around. You can get a deal. You'll get 2 months off if you switch to annual. If you want to stay on monthly, great. Stick around. And if it's just not for you, if it's not your speed, if you just don't find the most use out of it, just make sure to cancel before the end of August and it'll never cost you a single thing. So just set a timer on, I don't know, on your calendar or something like that. But I very much believe that you're going to get in there. You're going to see how it runs. You're going to see how it functions. And I think you're really, really going to enjoy it. But obviously, though, that's my 2 cents on the situation. And of course, I like it because I made it. And I see all the people who are having crazy success in it. Are we putting in a higher low here? I just want to make sure that my trade doesn't get busted up. Breakdown and breakout alert. Basically, I want to know if there's a potential reversal, and I also want to know if there's a breakdown to an additional low. I see the Qs are catching a bit of a bid here at the low from yesterday. That will be a natural support point, but I'm also looking at options, and options look heavy. They look heavy. According to Spot Gamma, the implied one-day move low is 5,440. So that might be a potential target for you. Spot Gamma, they are some smart cookies. So we've seen them before, like top tick and bottom tick, the implied one-day move high and the implied one-day move low. So we are obviously, what are we trading at? 5,459. So that's that's almost 20. It's in excess of 20 points, almost exactly 20 points below we are right now, which would be an additional $2 of downside on the SPY. So I'll be watching that very, very closely. But my trade is up in Discord. Piper signal is up in Discord. The other people are in there. There's a ton of people in voice chat right now, I assume, chatting about their own trades and whatnot. So hopefully they are crushing it. Now, folks, before we wrap up for the day, are there any questions? Do you guys have any questions about the Discord? Do you guys have any question about Upside, today's sponsor? Do you have any question of Apex, the account that I went 19 out of 20 on today? Any questions on, I don't know, charts that you want me to look at before we dip? Any thoughts, comments, concerns, anything like that, any tech issues, getting connected to the Discord, I can help you out with that. Where are we at? We have a couple minutes. I want to turn it over to all of you. More than, I don't know, we could do like a mini AMA type of thing for a couple minutes here. What's on people's minds? You let me know. Do you have charting question, Discord questions, Apex questions, upside questions, life questions, therapy questions, parental questions? How many push-ups? Half. I can go down. What are your swings doing? They're there. They're there. Remember, my swing plays are a multi-day, multi-week outlook. I don't let the intraday movement decide what I'm doing or not doing on my plays. Thoughts on why it's taking? Oh, I think that's the wrong question. Who gives a shit? Why? In the short term, the stock market is a voting mechanism. In the long term, it's a weighing mechanism. So why something matters for an investment, and it matters for the weight, as in the fundamental value, is like who's going to be right in the scale, what companies are right. In the short term, it's voting. There's a lot of randomness. There's a lot of noise, and it doesn't matter. You can understand why it's going down 100% accurately, or you could be on the opposite wrong. You could be on the dark side of the moon. You could be 100% wrong. It doesn't matter. What matters is, are you on the right side or the wrong side of the trade? So in the short term, if you're thinking up or down, today it's going to be very related to the JOLTS job openings, the consumer sentiment, and this concept of the rotation from tech to small cap. That is a pretty good explanation of why, but once again, it doesn't matter. What matters is, are you on the right side of the trade? Yes or no? That's what matters. Without a doubt, that is what matters. Did you sell AMC? Yes. I am out of AMC. When is your birthday? July. This month. I just turned 30 this year. I'm a 94, baby. Matt, the NQ on my NinjaTrader won't pull up the chart. What is that about? Sounds like you set it up wrong. It's working on mine. Makeup tutorials. Yes, I will be getting into the world of makeup tutorials. Should I YOLO calls on CrowdStrike? If you're stupid, go for it. How far out are you buying when you swing trade? Depends on the trade. I don't have like a set time of like, oh, I want this to be 2 months. I want this to be 1 month. It depends on what's going on. And IWM down again. Can't get anything going. 30. Sheesh. I know, dude. My life's pretty much over. Is it true that you are an actual airbender? Due to legal documents I have signed with the government, I cannot answer that question. I want to be very clear about that. So even, I know the government's listening, I'm not answering it. I signed that NDA. We've come to a mutual understanding. I will not be signing that. Or I did sign it, so I will not be answering that. How can we send you reacts? Send them to Chaos. So Chaos can give you his Twitter or a way to connect them. But if you guys want to send in things for me to react to live on show, send them to Chaos. He's the producer of the show. Matt, do I need alpha for spot gamma or a basic good enough? Well, it depends what you want. I use Hero, which requires the highest level, but it depends on what you're using it for. What NDA? The one with the government that I'm not allowed to talk about. I'm a sovereign citizen. I do not have a contract with you. A sovereign? Is that a real thing? I feel like people yell about that on YouTube videos. Like I'll see random clips on Twitter or something, but I still don't know what it is. I am a global citizen. How are you doing today? I don't know. I feel like I've had a lot of anxiety over the past couple of weeks for like an unknown reason, which is the worst part. Is like I feel like if you have anxiety, but you know the reason why, you can work to fix it. But sometimes whatever's going on in our kooky brains, your brain's like, no, you have anxiety. And you're like, but why do I have anxiety? And it's like, we don't fucking know. So that kind of sucks. It's not like at the level that I'm going to like fucking unalive myself, but I don't know. And then I do dumb things like I did yesterday that are by no means helping with my anxiety when I'm betting my entire account. So that kind of sucks. It sucks when you're in that mood in trading where like so much of your emotional state is based on if you're trading well or not. Like, I hate that. And a lot of the times, like, I'm fine. Like, a lot of the times my emotional state is more so based on, did I follow my trading plan, yes or no? But sometimes it goes inverted and it's just based on, did I make or lose money? And I hate those phases. So maybe that's what it relates to. I don't really know. I don't really know. But I'm trying to do something wild to fix it this weekend. I'm going to a paintball tournament. And before you ask, I'm not, I don't play paintball. It's not like I'm some sort of skilled paintball player. So I think that should fix it. I hope that they put me against like absolute geriatrics, preferably people in a wheelchair, or really slow kids, or really slow adults, mentally, physically, whatever. Like, I think if I have that sensation of shooting someone with a paintball gun and winning, that might work for me. I think that might be the thing that I need. Stop drinking caffeine. It helped me. Dude, that might be it. I drink a lot of caffeine. And then the way I balance out my coffee intake is by drinking Celsius. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if I take in 400 to 500 milligrams of caffeine per day. It honestly, maybe I just need a reset. Maybe I just need to like stop abusing caffeine, drugs, alcohol, all of life's vices. Maybe I just need to take like a 2-week break to let my system reset. Maybe I should just go like live in the woods in New Jersey and just like, you know, touch some, maybe I need to touch grass. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I'm going to try this paintball thing. I'll let you guys know how that goes. If the sensation of like really nailing someone with a paintball gun, with a paintball, maybe that'll fix it. And if it doesn't, maybe I just need to like live in the woods for a little bit. Get hypnotized? I don't know that. Just switch to Adderall? Well, if I take a break from caffeine, I'm obviously just going to pick up cocaine. You guys think I'm not going to use a stimulant? What were your best and worst trading years? I don't really remember the best. The worst was blowing out by almost $1 million because of AMC and GME. That was pretty fucking shitty. It's kind of funny. I feel like I'm one of the very few people in the world of content creation who's like trading real. And I mean, I don't really give a fuck if you guys believe me or not. I show you my accounts. I mean, I damn near give you my logins. If you guys promise not to trade. But there's so many people who are doing this. It's on fake accounts and it's not real money. And you can tell it because they still have life in their eyes. If you are watching any active trader, and this is just a life tip, if you want to know if they're a real trader, if they seem to like life, they're not really trading. I mean, folks, for whatever amount of time you've been trading, you know, as a real trader, just every single day, a piece of you dies, like absolutely dies. That's the telltale sign. So when these guys are, oh, we're partying, we're in Lambos, the fact that they still like life and they enjoy life, you know they're not real traders, without a doubt. That if you want to know someone who a real trader, they're dead. Just look them in the eyes, you'll know. You will 100% know. If you're not miserable, you ain't doing it right. Dude, it's, oh, fuck. Yo, speaking of trading, you guys want to see something sick? This is the trade I just executed. Up 3.3K, up 3.6. Just got in it today. So, I mean, people in the Discord, did I post it as soon as I executed this trade? Crushed it. Absolutely crushed it. 3,000. And yet, am I still pissed off about life? You know it, brother. You know it. Anywho, join the Discord, sign up for Upside. Shout out to Upside for being a partner. We're going to be posting content later on today. Make sure you turn on your notifications and switch it to all, not personalized. It should already work on Rumble. So sub, sign up, see you in the Discord. And then other than that, maybe we should all cut back our caffeine intake, because it seems maybe we need to push our caffeine down and bring our cocaine up. Maybe we need to do the old Kansas City shuffle on that one. Just an idea. Just an idea. Anyway, I appreciate all the good vibes. You guys are the absolute fucking best. I love you all. Posting content later. We're going to stream tomorrow. Tomorrow we're doing 2 streams because of the FOMC meeting. So we'll stream in the morning and then again in the afternoon. Crush the stair stepper. That's my biggest life tip. And other than that, that's what I have for you. Love you all. Peace.